Okay. Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo, first here at Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi. This is our second shir, Mishna Berura. Learning here for Yom Tov. Chag Shavuos is less than 2 weeks away. Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi is located in Yerushalyim, HaKodesh, not too far from the central bus station, so please you can walk from there. If you're driving, take a bus. Please, if you're coming from personal lives, join us. We'd like to help enrich your experience in Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalyim with as much Torah as possible. Tavkuf Beis and the Mishna Berura. I'm going to begin first.
Din ha'esh b'yom tov, fire and yom tov.
Right. So, just a brief preface here. Since many things are permissible on Yom Tov that are not permissible on Shabbos, so there are many more details in terms of what you can and what you can't do. And you have to be careful knowing the limitations of what you're allowed to do. So one thing is about fires. What's the law about fires? Let's go.
Ein motzi'im esh, we do not take out fire. What does it mean by motzi'im esh?
Yeshiva will say right on the spot, he'll say, take a look at the Mishna Berura right on
B'pnei shebechol elu hu molid esh b'yom tov, because all these he's creating fire and yom tov. V'ho'il ve'efshar lehamsi esh me'erev yom tov, you can go and prepare it before yom tov. Shiu muchan lo b'yom tov. Ve'lohuta lehol, it doesn't have to create in yom tov. Ve'lo adif mish'arei machshir she'efshar la'asotam mi'be'od yom dasur. This is one of the things that you do before yom tov. So basically, you light a fire, coal fire.
Right.
Okay. Overnight, the fire's going to go out maybe.
Right.
So it's not like gas. We leave the gas on. It's on all yom tov.
Right.
Wood fire. Eventually, the fireplace. Unless you're up all night, keep on adding wood to the fire.
Right.
So what do you do in that situation?
We'll see.
We'll see.
So again, the main point why fire you're not supposed to be moiled, not supposed to create ash, right, on Yom Tov. Since you could have made the fire before on Erev Yom Tov,
right?
And ash itself is not ochel nefesh.
Right.
Ash is what we call makshiri ochel nefesh. Right. You need the fire to prepare the food, right? Food preparation, chopping potatoes, frying the chips, right? Cutting the onions, frying the onions, right? Taking the chicken and putting it in the oil and frying the chicken, right? These things are direct food preparation, right? But to sharpen the knife, let's say to cut the onions, or to make the fire, right, to cook the chicken, right? That's what we call makshiri ochel nefesh. Those are things which are preceding the actual, they're necessary for the food preparation, but they are not the actual, you're not working directly on the food, right?
Makshiri what?
Makshiri ochel nefesh.
Ochel nefesh.
Okay. And what does that mean?
Preparations for food.
Right. Preparations for food consumption, right?
So what's he saying that you're allowed to do makshir nefesh in Shuvah?
What do you think is the thing? Let's read the Mishna Berura again. Go ahead, Mr. Read the Mishna
Ein
Berura.
moitzi'in b'pnei shebechol elu hayu molid eish.
All those things that we're going to see in the Mechaber, all those things which are going to be listed, those are things which are moiled eish. They create fire.
Hayu v'esh shel himatzeh eish me'er yom tov. This is possible to take out eish from Erev Yom Tov sheyeh muchan lo. It's already prepared. Muchan Yom Tov loy hetu lahoy b'Yom Tov. Not allowed to make fire on Yom Tov. Lo adam mashare makshiri. It's not better than other forms of indirect ochel nefesh.
So it's like a preparation. It's not better than any other form of preparation.
She'ef sela sesam Erev Yom Tov. It's possible to prepare the Erev Yom Tov also. Therefore, we say it's also.
Right. So anything that was possible to do on Erev Yom Tov, it's also to do on Yom Tov. So therefore, since you could have lit the fire, okay, it might have been difficult, whatever it was, right? But again, since we don't use fire so often, we're not familiar with this so well. But they had all different concepts and devices and methods, procedures on which they would make the fire and have it last. We'll see. You can add firewood to
Right,
the
adding
fire.
yeah, as you said, just getting started. That's the
That's
problem.
right. Yeah.
Lo min ha'etzim, not from wood, v'lo min ha'avanim, not from stones, lo min ha'afar, and not from the dirt, v'lo min ha'mayim, not from water.
Okay, let's stop there. So
Okay.
you can't make fire not from wood. You can't make fire from stones. You can't make fire from for dust, the dirt, and you can't make fire from water. We're going to see all about that. How do you make fire from water? Besides,
Magnifying, because of magnifying.
this was going to explain. Right, let's take a look.
Mishna Berura?
Yeah, because it's going to be a long machaber. I'm
Okay.
not sure we're going to do all the machaber. We're going to be skipping around a bit.
V'lo min ha'etz, kegon shechochim zo bezo, that we attach one to the other, or makin zo, we put it together.
You
Strike it.
Makin is rub.
Rub
Rub them together.
until the forest, actually, the father comes.
Right. I mean, you're familiar probably with the Boy Scout trick. You have the one piece of wood. You have a piece of wood. You have a piece of wood, and you have like a little. You can even do it in a stone, or just have a little indentation. You put a little flax or a little wool or
Right.
something down at the bottom. Then you get string. And you have to set it up, and you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, so much until that the friction warms everything up, and not until you reach the igniting point of the wool or the pieces of paper, whatever you might get. Once you, then that's what you start getting. Then
That's
you
right. Like that
look,
was
if you're they teach
Nothing
you
better
this.
than a lighter.
V'lo min ha'afar, not from
Actually, a Flintstone is better than a lighter, because if it gets the lighter gets wet, you're not wasting.
You're right. V'lo min ha'afar, not from dust. Karka kashesh shechofrin ota motzia, or hard ground that you rub it, right?
When you dig into
Do
it.
it brings out light. V'hu kehai gamna kashichashech briga adama. This is like when
When you rub the Darby Dama, when you rub the pebbles of the ground, elu la elu.
That's you're hitting one to the other.
I remember I was once on a beach, and the sand of that beach had this quality. When you could walk and you kick your heels, if you walk regular, it wouldn't happen. If you kick your heels, dip your foot and kick your heels along the top, just skim the top of the sand, sparks would come out.
Where's this beach?
This is in California.
V'lo min
Not everywhere.
V'lo min ha'mayim, not from water. Hayinu shenotnim mayim b'kli sklit. You put the water in a glass, levana v'notim b'cham, put in the sun. She'hashemesh cham me'od, it gets hot, very hot. Mekarvim elav ne'otzer pishtan vehi bo'eret, and you put it will start lighting up flax.
Right. So when the sun gets very intense, so you bring the wool right close to the pishtan. You bring the flax close to where the jar of water is.
Vehi bo'eret, and it burns.
Right. You make a focus. And what we have is the same method as a magnifying glass.
B'chvediavad im avar v'otzim b'diavad, he did it. Mutar l'shtamish, you can use it. Is this for all of them or just this one?
Good question.
Okay.
Pashtus whole with I would say it's going on all of them. Yeah.
V'ayim mitzvah k'tav sofer siman samazar she'osed la'adik sindehalitz she'korims shel belach. One. Gafurim.
Matches. They also matches. Matches were something for us, we take it for granted. Like we're way beyond that. We have lighters and all kinds of other things. Electric sparkers.
Morocco the permitted.
Excuse me.
Morocco the permitted.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Messas permitted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we see that the
Is what?
chassav,
Lighting a match in Yom
you can strike a match.
Contrary to Ashkenazi.
You will see what he
Contrary
says.
to Ashkenazi.
We don't do it because we don't need it. It's just important when people smoke. Aide sheyitchov oto be'efer kira cham she'ein bo esh rak chomesh.
So he's taking on that striking the match itself is he's not even dealing with that question. All he's doing is applying the match to the you have a cast iron stove and it's very hot.
Right.
He's just saying applying the match head to the heat of the stove and having the heat of the stove ignite the match.
That's you're not allowed also?
So let's see what he says. Right.
Everybody does it to light candles on second day Yontif. How do you light candles on Yontif? In a cold.
Well,
You light the match. We had a 25 hour candle. You light the match from there.
Okay.
From there, you started lighting all the candles.
okay, good. Very good. Let's see what he says here about what they're discussing.
Okay, the hallo mamsi davar chadash, because it's the hallo that it's not something new.
Yeah, you're not making something new. See, you're not taking out something new here, right?
Okay, the hakek hatsim halet babar zecham melubar. And also put the match at something the piece of steel that's very hot. Can move it tanur bars like I guess touch it to the walls of the stove.
Iron stove, right?
Katav gamken delon near lata that should not be permitted.
He's saying not to use it. Not to use it. Right.
Aval im yesh kachelet bo'eret mutar lebiyabanza. But if you have a coal, then you can let it because that's fire to fire.
Right, so because if you're taking something and applying it to a hot surface,
Right.
and the heat is sparking the fire,
Then you're starting something new.
That's something new.
It's
But if
fire
you're taking
to
a
fire.
coal, even a
Okay.
coal, which is a betzim of fire, right? Then you could apply the match to the coal.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Alright, so if I'm extending the flame, is what we're talking about here.
right.
If I'm extending the flame with a brand new match and that brand new match pops and lights, that's not.
It depends how. The fire to fire you're allowed. So if you have
I use a 7-day yardstick candle.
So you can take a match and light it from there. You cannot take the match and you have a stove on and it's on very high, or the oven, right? The oven is a better example, and it's very hot, and you can't put the match to the oven to light the match because that would be creating something new in Yontif.
And you take from the existing.
Okay.
You take from
I
fire to
understand.
fire.
I understand.
Yeah.
Shetadlik. Oh, I'm sorry.
So at this point, lighting the match to the coals, like, well, let's say you have a gas stove going.
Fire to fire, basically.
Right, right. But if you would have the plata,
Right, that you
right,
can't do.
that you shouldn't.
Shetadik Hashem b'hagachelet shall have it kashura. You can light it even if it's the fire, even if if there's no fire on the coal. In other words, it's already just coming down.
Sheketadlik af she'in shebecheles shall heves kishura, even though there's no
Fire, like a
fire which
flame.
is attached to that specific coal.
But the coal itself is very hot from that.
Right.
V'gami kechalim omemon metzaded sham deshari.
Right. You have two kinds of coals. You have the coals which are still burning,
Right,
and then you have the coals which are
white already.
Yeah,
but
they're
hot.
white and they're on their way out. So even that, he's apparently approving to do it because it's still apparently coming from the fire itself. Whereas if you're just touching the oven, the hot oven, there's no fire there; it's just heat. But the coal, even though it's a dying coal, right, it's still apparently considered to be enough as eish, because if you would blow on it, you could ignite it again.
Right.
Right, in general. Now that's a question: can you blow on coals that are dying on Yom?
Never had that situation.
Right. Okay. Take a look at the rest of the macabre.
Ve'eno simpacham, you cannot make coals.
Coal. Don't make coal. We're not supposed to make coals.
Ve'nofchim b'mapuach ela bish foferet. Sorry, you cannot nofchim b'mapuach.
This is a bellows. You know,
Oh, then we cannot use the mapuach.
you can't use a bellows.
Ela bish foferet. What's foferet?
That's like I would say, like a straw. You take a straw or some type of a.
Like go like this.
Yeah.
Oh. Ve'nagu heter b'mapuach shel ba'alei batim ayidei shinu, and they gave permission to the whatever it's called,
The bellows.
the bellows that is used in the houses. I guess not as big as it. As long as you do it with a different shinui, and it's two people together.
Oh, well, you see, the hapich,
V'haftach b'mala mata.
you reverse it from
Top to the bottom.
bottom, right? Meaning, there should be evidently, I mean, it's one long time I've seen them. I think there's one place where there's a hole that's where the air, it's like, you know when we're talking about those, these things that go like this?
That's the mapua.
Right, that's the mapuach. And there are two types. There's a mapuach that would use in your house. And when people had fireplaces, they had this, instead of standing there blowing like this, you do one, twice, two things like that, and it gets things going quick. Those people had in their house, that's balabatim, that you can use with the shinui. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that the top part or the bottom, one of the two sides had a hole, where there's an intake and outtake hole, where the air would come in and out. And then the bottom half would be just flat piece of wood. So I guess there was a way that you would always have the hole up or hole down. So you just reverse
It's a
it.
pointy thing in the bottom.
The pointy thing at one point, it has two handles.
That's right.
And
Like
you do
this. I don't remember the one I had a hole at the top, but I'm sure there has to be somewhere for the air to come in. Yeah. Problem is that if you're not close, the reason it's pointy is to be close to the fire. So if you're doing it this way, it's not. You're not getting it to the fire. All right.
One quick question.
Sure.
Shifother, it sounds like you blow with your mouth, right? It's like a tube, you blow into the tube and then there we go. Okay.
Possibly, yeah.
So that's what she's drinking at barrels, rush.
Like it goes, yeah.
Not allowed to use on music.
It depends on what kind it is, and you need to use a shoe. Use a shoe, you can use it. Yeah, so we see apparently, and certainly if you use your mouth to blow on the fire, apparently there's no problem doing that, right?
And they had to do something, Rabbi. People didn't have money to have all this stuff. They had to make fire somewhere.
Yeah, we sure.
Because blowing is one of the ways they would have it. I'm assuming.
As long as it's not a new fire.
No, new fire, we all agree.
What happens if you have a barbecue after this cold?
You want to have a barbecue on your TV? You can have it.
No, it's just when it get more fire, you use the fan or something to...
On your TV, you could do it, yeah.
You used to cook that way, didn't you?
Yeah, you have to fan the fire. Fanning the fire is one of the ways you get it heat. Hot, quick. You can wait, but if you want to get it moving quicker, you fan the fire.
You can cover the fire with a kli, or be'afar, or with the dust. Muchan, be'afar muchan, that was ready. Imenu mekabut, doesn't cover it totally.
It's not going to go out right. You're not going to put it out.
Medafka letzorach yom tov rishon. That's only for the first day. Aval letzorach yom tov sheni aser. Whoa. So how do you make a fire the second day?
No, that you can't cover the fire like we'll see. I believe that what's being referred to is this. You want to cover the fire so it shouldn't
go out.
But not, you can't put it out. So you want to cover it. But if you would not cover it, it would go out quicker. So you want to cover it to keep the fire down.
Right.
So you can't do that if you're doing it for the needs of second day yontif.
Ah.
I want to keep the fire going.
Okay.
If I'm doing it, I don't want the fire to be so intense on yontif rishon. That's okay. You're doing it in tzorach of yontif rishon. But we don't want the fire to be so intense, because if it's so intense, it'll go out, and I won't have a fire on yontif sheni. So I'm doing it in order for the sake of yontif sheni, which would be forbidden. Yeah. Let's see. I'm not sure if we'll do the Mishna Berura here. Let's now.
Well, could I ask one question?
Yeah, sure.
On that? I'm trying to think of it. I'll show you in my text. I was just wondering if this is Yiddish or not. The third line here, I guess this corner.
Yeah, that's Yiddish.
Okay.
That's Yiddish. It's Yiddish got through
matches.
So this is the Ivrit?
Yeah, that's the Ivrit.
And then, so both of these words are Yiddish? The Shebella?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
And then also Shin Hal. It's definitely not Ivrit.
No, Yiddish, certainly. Turn the page on Sif Dalet, something which is not so well known, but also relevant. That's the page.
Lady Dan.
Everyone has Sif Dalet?
Mutar levashel b'kderot chadasha b'yodim. According to me, you can. It's permitted to use a new pot.
Right.
What would,
What would we think would be wrong with using a new pot? Right?
unless it's you have like a
Okay,
frying pan that
let's
you
see
have
the
to
remark. We'll
burn first.
continue on in the remark.
Okay. The yesh osrim. There are those that don't permit it. V'chen amina. Im lo al yedei hadecha. If not because of what's decha.
It's a difficult situation. Like you need the pot. If you don't need the pot, you shouldn't do it. You should get away. You should try not to do it. It's really usher to do it unless it's in a situation you have no choice.
V'lachein na'agu k'shekonim kederot chadashot b'Pesach k'mevashimam kodem yontiv. That those that are accustomed to buy those that buy a new pot before Pesach, that they should cook it before Yontiv.
Right.
Before Pesach.
In general, just as a preference, what we're talking about here, Matzazel probably can explain much better than I. Sometimes you buy a pot, you want to season the pot. You want to explain a little bit about that process that's involved there?
Well, specifically when you're using cast iron, they have, what we're talking about is these vessels have pores. And you want to open up those pores with the heat, and then you want to get good things in the pores to help the product last and to help the flavor when you start to cook. So usually those cast iron skillets, it's a rub with oil, and it's a baking process. It's like a koshering process, but with oil is the best way to explain it. You opening up the pores, you're letting the fat get in there, and you're making this nice layer of theoretically, you're making this nice layer of fat to start building your product. And they say you shouldn't really take soap and water to those things. It's just a quick wipe out, because that layer of fat, if you take soap and water to it, you start to break down the oil that's in the fat. That's what you don't want to have happen. So if you get a proper seasoning, that thing will last a good 8-10 years, and nothing will ever stick to it. I mean, you literally can scramble eggs in there and you won't have eggs sticking to it, because the heat will allow the food to cook without sticking because of the seasoning process and the continuation of the seasoning process literally every time you use it.
What are pores exactly? Pores, what are they?
Like in your skin, when you sweat, sweat comes out of your pores.
Yes.
Okay, so it's the same thing in the vessel. The vessel has pores too, the things that make the vessel.
Okay, take a look here what the Yeshiva is going to explain. The Didan, it's in Chav Daled in the Mishna Berura.
Yeah. V'didan mutar hayim mishum deyesh oshem levashel b'kderot chadash b'yom tov. Because there's those that don't permit using a new pot on Yom Tov. K'moshe katav Ramah.
Right, so he's explaining why the Lashon, usually don't see this expression in the Mechaber, the Didan.
Right.
Right, but the Mechaber knew that there were those that were ushering it, which is really the opinion of the Ramah, but the Ramah is not his own opinion, he's just quoting others which forbid it. But so the Mechaber is passing for us, we permit it, that you can, a new pot, no problem, take it right off the shelf, and you can start cooking with no problem.
Mishum de bebishul harbishal mitchazeket hakedar, because in the first time you cook, the pot becomes stronger. They call them mishum nikaba kalitat mayim mibachutz, because before you cook, nikab kalitat mayim. There's these drops of water on the outside.
Right, because even when you take a new pot, right? You take a new pot. The first time you're cooking with it, right? You'll see that there's beads of water being sweating on the outside, released.
Yesh bazeh mishum tikun mana. It could be that there's a repairing.
Tikkun mana means to actually to fix up the cleave.
V'dam mechaber Rabbeinu Yerucham, and the mechaber is like Rabbeinu Yerucham. The derech shelanu nigmar bishulam kivar etzel hayotzer, because in our pots, when you cook, it's already it's hayotzer.
The nigmar, the yotzer is the manufacturer.
It's already done by the manufacturer.
Right. So the bishul, the first time bishul has many times been done right, by the one who made it, right?
ולכן מותר לדידן לבשל בכתר חדש, and that's why he says, according to his opinion, that he can use a new pot.
Right.
It's technically it's not new. It's already been used a bunch of
Right.
times.
Because the fire comes in and he always put on the fire.
Again, you're going to have other problems. That if it was you have other problems if it was a pot that was gotten from a Jew. There's no problems. If it's a pot that was gotten from a non-Jew, you
Right,
have to
tefillah.
And then also if there was a bishul that took place, so you have to make sure.
Okay.
You have to make sure that they didn't put anything that was forbidden.
Like a
to
toaster.
cooking it. Yeah,
Like a toaster. He said that they toast the bread.
that's what they used to say. They used to test the toasters. I don't know if they do it in
I
China.
don't know if they've anymore.
Canaan minig in Kaf Hein.
וכן מנהג בדעת המגן אברהם לחלק דקלים המצופים שקוראים בליריסט. מצוות זכוכית. And
That's
that's
like
the opinion of the Magen Avraham.
that's like porcelain.
Porcelain. מחזיקים מים בטוב אב קודם בישול. But it holds water even before it's being used to cook it.
I mean, it can hold water well even without being heated up for use.
ולכן מותר לבשל מים ביום טוב אף בתחילה, and therefore it's permitted to use it in יום טוב even לכתחילה. והמנהג להחמיר הוא רק בכלים שאינם גליזיrt.
That's see the word glazed in there? You see the word glazed?
Porcelain.
Yeah, you see the word glazed in that word? Glazed.
More Yiddish, I think.
וכן כתבו שערך המצות, they also other אחרונות. עיד הדחק, in case of need, כגון ששחל לבשל קודם יום טוב ואין לו כדר אחר. He didn't cook before Yom Tov, but he doesn't have another pot to use, so you can use it.
You have no other pot to use, you have to use a sweet. Very good.
Good question.
Yes, sure.
The prohibition against using a new pot, I seem to remember that perhaps the Mishnah that it's based upon is concerning a new earthenware vessel because the clean will be finished in the cooking process because the earthenware vessel is hard, but it's not like totally hard. But then using it to cook with, that'll finish the.
Right, that's what it says here.
That's what it says, okay.
That's look at the Mishna Berura, the beginning in Kaf Dalet, right? היינו משום יש פושעים לבש בקדיר הקדש וביום טוב, כמו שכסד רמון, משום בבישול ראשון מהחזקת מספקת הקדיר, strengthens the קדיר. Right. So that's whether this applies to metal pots. That's questionable. In general, it's probably talking about clay pots, but to a certain extent, it can apply to metal pots as well.
I thought it was